Stepping into the SBK scene in your 50s, because you are 52, Lynn.
60s. I'm 62.
You're 62.
I'm
I thought
62.
you were 52.
I'll take that though. When you're there by the dance floor and you're not getting asked to dance, and it's a bit like being a teenager at the discos. I will now ask people to dance. I've kind of got over that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like even like in Poland, I'm asking guys to dance, and they go no. What recently, I just showed a video of myself on social media where I was dancing with some people in the airport on TikTok, and then this guy put a comment on there, dancing with your nan, cute.
Lynne Joyner is a fitness instructor, personal trainer, and Salsa, Bachata, and Kizomba dancer based in Bath and Bristol. She runs a small corporate gym and studio, teaching everything from aerobics to Zumba. Lynn is also an active member of a choir, singing at weddings, funerals, and birthday celebrations. Welcome, Lynn.
Hi, nice to be here. Nice to see you, Bobby.
Wonderful to see you too. Let's dive right in. So, leading dance fitness lessons like Zumba, they have that Afro-Latin element to the music. Were salsa, bachata, kizomba a logical next step for you, or was it something or someone that inspired you to step into the scene?
Yeah, I think because I'm old school aerobics trained, so we're used to teaching to a 32 count, and it doesn't matter what the moves are, but we used Latin aerobics. That's been part of aerobics for years and years. And then I went into Zumba, which is global rhythms, so lots of different rhythms, lots of different styles like merengue, bachata, salsa, rock and roll, that kind of thing. So then, when I became single, and somebody said about going to salsa classes, and something I'd always fancied doing, and I just thought, well, because I teach it and I know some of the moves already, I thought, oh, that's a nice natural progression to do that. So I started to go to salsa at Bath, and yeah, so I took to salsa. So then when I was at salsa, went the socials, and then say bachata song came on, and I wouldn't know what to do to it. And then some of the nice guys would kind of show me what to do. And then Kazumba came on, I thought I want to learn how to do that as well. So and actually I've also gone on to tango as well. So I've learned I do tango as well. So I'm a little bit addicted at the moment. But yeah, so salsa was my first, and that is my home. That's my comfort blanket. It's something I was familiar with because of my aerobics and because of my Zumba teaching, the classes and
Hmm, hmm.
footwork. That's all familiar with me. What I'm not good at is always following, because I tend to preempt because I can hear the music, and I kind of feel like I know what's coming next, and then I have to kind of let the leader lead.
Yeah, moving away from that solo dance energy into the partner dance.
Yeah. So I'm so
Mm.
used to preempting the music. I'm so used to having to be like two counts ready to teach, ready
Yes.
for the next bar. So, and then having to kind of wait is not my forte. So. Loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, so it's been really good way. It's good for my social life. It's been good skills to learn. Yeah, in fact, I can go there as a person on my own. I don't have to have a friend to go with. I don't need a partner to go with. I can just go by myself.
Yeah, it fills all the cups, doesn't it? The social, the exercise, the connection, the movement. It's all
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And I think initially, I feel a bit embarrassed to say, but initially I just thought, what a great way to meet guys.
Hmm.
I haven't realised one of the byproducts is actually making friends with lots of the women there. And I've met so many female friends and made so many female friends who are
Yeah.
so lovely and supportive, people like yourself. You just think that's what I hadn't realised would happen, and that's been a really nice bonus. Yeah.
Yes. So, Lynn, stepping into the SBK scene in your 50s, because you are 52, Lynn.
60s. I'm 62.
You're 62.
I'm
I thought
62.
you were 52.
I'll take that though. Well, actually, I was in my 60s already when I started. So, and I suppose because I've always kept myself active and because of my teaching classes, so that was fine. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, in some respects, it's a new skill, that learning to lead, learning to follow the dances. But in some respects, it wasn't, because I was already familiar with the moves and already active. I mean, Zumba, teaching Zumba fitness is harder, but for my heart rate than it is some of the social dancing, unless you get particularly vigorous self.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
in comparison, fitness wise, but yeah, it was a bit daunting to go out on my own to but then, like I say, you get such good welcome. But yeah, so I started in my 60s. Never
Wow.
too old, which is my mantra anyway. I just
Yeah.
say 60 is the new 40, right?
Yeah. Well, and age is a number. It's how many
Absolutely.
years we've managed to not die. That's a good thing to have.
I think, I mean, one of my mantras definitely, is the fact that it's not age that does us in, it's inactivity. And I suppose,
Hmm.
and with dancing, I suppose you've got the whole thing, you've got the social, you've got the physical, you've got all
Yep.
the coordination that's needed.
Yeah.
It's everything. So, yeah, I think people say to me, "Oh, Lynn, you're living your best life," and I think I probably am really, because I've got no kind of aging parents to think about. My children have all left home.
Hmm.
I can actually, you know, I can do what I want to really in my time. So, which is really nice, and financially, I can afford it
Yeah.
just about. So,
Yeah, finance the addiction.
well, I know you just realise actually the dancing can be quite expensive by the time you buy your ticket, and if you're away, the accommodation, the flight, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it is. We're lucky that we can do it. Very
yeah,
lucky,
yeah. You can cut your cloth, can't you? You
for
can
sure.
put it down. So
Yes. Yeah. So at the beautiful age of 62, Lynn, now that we've established that, um, do you feel like you've been in spaces where you feel there is an ageist kind of atmosphere?
generally, it's fine. Definitely, classes are absolutely fine because
Hmm.
you're in rotation, and that's just where you can actually meet people of all different ages.
Yeah.
But when you're at the socials, I definitely feel when I'm, especially because I'm still learning, and I don't feel I'm really competent as I probably would like to be. We probably never are we? But when you're
Hmm.
there by the dance floor and you're not getting asked to dance, and it's a bit like being a teenager at the discos, and you have to look up Google discos, but it's just as
Hmm.
like being out on the dance floor, and you're just waiting to be asked to dance. So I find myself, and I will now ask people to dance. I've kind of got over that, yeah.
Yeah.
So and I'll do that, but. And I've worked it out, and like even like in Poland, Bachata, I'm asking guys to dance, and they go no, so and you just think they're not even, sometimes they'll say, oh, I'm tired, or I need a break, but sometimes and then you see them then dancing with somebody who is young, who is gorgeous, and you just feel like there's a little bit of a, and I don't blame people, but you kind of feel I do feel that I am invisible sometimes. You do feel
Hmm.
that you get overlooked because you haven't got the whole kind of the crop top on, and you haven't got this lovely skin and beautiful face and hair, and yeah, so you just feel
I
I'm
mean, you have the beautiful face and hair in spades, Lynn.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy in my own. I'm happy with myself. I mean, I take care of myself, and I've learned I bought more dresses in this last year than I bought in my lifetime. So,
Yay.
but it's interesting. What recently, I just showed a video of myself on social media where I was dancing with some people in the airport, and I just wanted to show some of my friends that that's the sort of crazy thing that us dancers do. So I put the video of me dancing at the airport with the other guys on TikTok, and then this guy put a comment on there, dancing with your nan, cute. And I just thought, oh, first of all, I thought, oh, what a cheek. And I thought, actually, I probably am old enough to be his nan, but actually, isn't it great that I can dance with somebody who might be young enough to be my grandson or son? A lot of the time I am dancing with people who are young enough to be my children, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And I'm dancing, there are people older than me, believe it or not. So I am dancing with older people as well. Um, but I do definitely think there is an age thing there. I know
Mhm.
I've seen it in other WhatsApp groups with some of the other older ladies, and they're saying they feel that they get sidelined, and they
Yeah.
can see, like at the end of an evening, that the guys are searching out the younger girls, looking to flirt with them, looking to, become intimate with them. Presumably, we might be making wrong assumptions, but you
But
can see them kind of hitting on girls, and
yeah.
yeah, so there is that, and like there is that side of the dance which isn't quite so positive. So, but generally, I've had some really good dances with some young guys, and it's all been lovely. It's all respectful, and we have fun. And age generally isn't an issue.
But this is how it should be that you can dance with someone who's 30, 40 years younger, older. It doesn't matter if your intention is to dance. Like these guys who you feel look you over because you're older. what is their intention? Why are they dancing in the first place? That's a bit of a flag for me. I kind of go, okay, maybe I don't want to dance with you
I
then if
know.
that's ugh.
I mean,
So
there's a couple of guys that I know on the Bristol scene, and one in particular, he would just blank me and he won't even look me in the face when I'm dancing with him. He's looking over his shoulder, and I guess sometimes he's looking over at the instructor, but he will hardly catch my eye, look in my eye at all.
yeah,
And yeah, then I think, well, is it just me? And then I see him with other people, generally younger, and he's chatting away with them. He's got his arms around them. He's friendly with them, but
mm,
he completely blanks me. And to the point when I was at a place, I was in Birmingham recently. There weren't many people left on the dance floor, and he still didn't even say hello. He didn't acknowledge me. You just think that's just rude, isn't it? Just
that's
think,
incredibly rude.
know that you know. I know that we know each other because we're at Jan's classes on a Monday night, Wednesday night
Yeah.
rotation with you, and you're not even saying hello to me. And I don't think I
Gosh.
said anything to offend him. So yeah, so I'm guessing that's just, yeah, I mean that's just rude, I think. I
Yeah.
feel
I
like,
mean, when you've seen it, you've seen the evidence that he'll chat happily with someone else, and that's a younger woman, then it's
yeah,
what
it's a,
other conclusion can you draw that he's just being downright rude?
I know, and I just think,
Yeah.
that you can't expect. But most people, but if they're asked to dance, sometimes they will give you a reason or an excuse. At least they're kind of being polite about it. But at least they say hello to you in the first place and acknowledge you.
Yeah. Yes, completely. I mean, people say no to dancers for all sorts of reasons. I mean, it's quite easy to think it's about us and to kind of go,
Yeah.
what's up with me? But then, like you say, when you see them say no to you, but then immediately actively go and invite someone themselves, then that's bad juju on their part. But also, it shows you their intention for dancing, and you maybe okay, maybe that should stay over there, or maybe you should. I don't know. Just then I feel bad for the women they are dancing with.
I know. And I feel like kind of having a conversation with him along the lines of, have I done anything to offend you? I just feel that you, I don't know whether to tackle it or not, or just this kind of, just this, that,
Doesn't sound like he deserves to have you tackle it
yeah, somebody else
because
said give him the energy. So,
yeah, because I mean, if you can't think of anything you've done to offend or give offense, cause offense, then that's then there's nothing you have done unless he raises it. I mean, sometimes we offend without meaning to, but we won't know
yeah,
unless the person tells us.
no.
So we have to rely on communication. We're humans.
Yeah,
So if
and I
he's
suppose
refusing to communicate, fine. Don't talk to me. I will talk to people who deserve me for me to talk to them.
absolutely. And I was just going to say that I just think that's like one or two people out of hundreds that I meet. So
This is it.
yeah, it's just a small point. So generally I'd say most of the time there doesn't seem to be any kind of ageism, but I do feel it's there. It is there
Mm,
with some of the guys. So yeah, I say guys because obviously with women doesn't I don't think it's an issue at all. So yeah,
no, fair.
women leaders, but yeah.
Yeah. And do you notice between salsa, bachata, kizomba that there's one more than the other where you kind of feel this energy in socials
I
across
think
the board?
more bachata. I think bachata the most. It does seem to be a younger population that are learning. It's not when
Yes.
I think about the demographics like Poland and Croatia. It's generally younger people that are
Uh-huh.
bachata. Salsa, you get that whole mix. I think because salsa's been around a long time, so you have got some older generation who the whole
You've
kind
been
of.
dancing forever.
I know.
Yeah.
No, to dance with as well. So salsa I think is a bit more mixed range, and you get some young. Only on last Friday I was dancing with a young guy, and he was an amazing salsa dancer. We had a really good dance together.
Hmm.
Lovely, really, really good, really energetic. It was really fun. But yeah, so it's definitely more of a mixed range, and definitely a lot of older people with salsa.
Yeah.
Kizomba seems to be a bit more of a maturer crowd.
Hmm.
But older, not all old, but older generally. But I think it's bachata. I think that's where I found it the most. I mean, Kizomba,
Okay.
you're waiting for hours on end because the dances go on and on.
Yeah.
And I just have to kind of look for people who are like smiling, laughing, I just have to kind of when I look at people, when I'm asking people to dance, I think, well, okay, they look like they've got a good sense of humor. They look like they're open.
Yeah. Yeah. Look for that energy that's going to match your energy.
Yeah,
Mm,
definitely,
that's a good
definitely.
way to do it.
Yeah.
When you find that you've been you find that you've been looked over or someone's been rude to you and it feels like it's because you're older than other women that are there, what has helped to lift you back up and kind of make you go, no, you don't define my night?
I know. I think it's either talking it over with other women, other
Hmm.
other women to sort of say, oh yeah, no, I found that, or yeah, yeah, he's the same as me, or whatever. And
Mm,
just the fact then you can then go and dance with somebody who is young, and you can have a really good dance, or whatever age. You can just dance with anybody and have a good connection. Just think to yourself, yeah. And I suppose again, sometimes it's like I probably wouldn't have enjoyed the dance with them. And sometimes you're dancing with people and they've accepted you,
yeah,
and you can tell they're not in that space because they're just kind of just walk. They're going through the motions really.
yeah, yeah,
You just make your mental note of the ones that you have that connection with, don't you? So
very true. That's a
yeah,
good way to go through it. So chat with other women that are there that you connect with and you feel you can open up to.
don't take it
Um,
to heart. Don't take it to heart.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
and
I
hearing that validation from another woman can be nice to kind of go,
yeah
well, I've experienced something similar if they're of a similar age as well.
yeah I think
Okay.
so. And also just knowing that it might be something that's going on in that person's life. So
Yes.
you don't know what's going on in their lives, do you? So
That's, yeah, so important to kind of reframe it for yourself and go, well, maybe it's better off that he said no because that keeps him safe, keeps me safe. Yeah.
mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. Just yeah, just like it's just don't take it personally, which
Yeah.
I do.
It's so hard. I mean, yeah, for so many of us, we hear that no, and alarm bell goes off in our head saying, why? What did I do? What happened? What have I done?
Yeah,
Rather than having to kind of go, okay, he said no, there's something going on with, if it's a man, and there's something going on with him. He wants a break, he's tired, he doesn't like this song, whatever it may be.
absolutely. Some of them will say that they don't like that song. Yeah, and actually, I hear some of the guys will say, and I was talking to some of the guys about it, and they say actually sometimes the women can be quite rude to them, and they can be
Oh,
just as you know, off-putting and just as rude or and I know somebody I was talking to recently, he said like when he was first learning to dance, a couple of the women wouldn't dance with him. But of course,
oh,
he's got really good. They want to dance with him, but he remembers. So like now he won't dance with them because they refused him on his way up, as it were. So
yeah. And I think you can tell if someone's outright refusing you because of your level
I know.
or because you see them then either they go and ask somebody else or they just the next person right next to you comes and asks them and they say yes. So not even trying to be subtle.
I know, and I was talking to somebody recently. We were just saying, like we were standing on the dance floor, and she's black, and that's like another issue again. But
Hmm.
just the fact that we were stood there on the dance floor, kind of moving as if knowing, showing that we're ready to dance, and a guy walked straight past both of us and asked somebody who sat down to dance. So, but
Yeah.
again, and I think sometimes it goes, it's a thing of people wanting to dance with people that they know. So I suppose
I
if they,
mean, yeah, that often happens and that can be the case as well. Yeah. Someone they
yeah,
know is sat around there, so they go and seek them out or
yeah.
yeah.
So you again, it's like give people the benefit of the doubt, isn't it? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good attitude to have. And it must be a bit difficult to maintain that attitude when you can unequivocally say sometimes he's treating me like this because I'm older. So it's really cool to hear you say that you still find that benefit of the doubt balance for yourself or for the others.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, I don't feel conscious of my age. It's only if you get rejected or if you get kind of, if you're walking towards somebody and they look past you. They're not even like catching your eye, they're kind of
Yeah.
avoiding your eyes. In tango, they've got a thing whereby you catch their eye. And tango, again, the followers aren't generally, it's the leaders are expected to ask, but you have to kind of catch their eye and then
Mm,
indicate you want to dance. But I mean, tango is generally older people, mostly,
okay.
not always. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. It's like I say, most of the time it's not an issue, but I think it's definitely there. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, and just because it's not a major issue for you in your day-to-day dancing doesn't mean it's not an issue that deserves space and deserves people to kind of take check and go, wait, am I doing that
Mm.
subconsciously? Because some people may be doing it without realizing it.
Yeah,
So
and I
it
suppose I
doesn't, it never hurts us to think.
No, and I wouldn't. And if anybody's watching this, who is an older person and wondering whether to get into the dance or not, don't let it put you off. I just think because younger people just generally are, all ages, just generally. I think if you're open, friendly, and I suppose now I've got more experience of dancing, actually, I feel more confident in myself dancing anyway.
Yeah.
I don't always read the leaders very well. I'm still making mistakes, but with a lot of the guys, whatever their age, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, Kizomba, you'll have a dance and they'll just very kindly put their arm around you and give you a hug and say, thank you.
Yes, but that's very polite.
It's
Yeah,
very
it's them
nice,
saying,
but
I've had enough. Thank you. Yeah.
I think in Kizomba it's held you generally would have at least three dances. So if you only get the one
Okay, okay. Yes, of course.
thank you, you think, okay.
But maybe they just really have to pee.
Well, quite, quite. Benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt, yes. But like you said before, if they would like to end the dance there and don't want to continue on, that's better for you too than to dance with someone who doesn't want to dance with you. I
Yeah,
think that's the
absolutely.
worst kind of vibe to be in.
Yeah, yeah. It's got to be. I read somewhere, and it said something like the best dancers are the ones who are enjoying themselves. And I thought,
Yeah,
yeah, don't worry about getting it right. Don't worry about. But like I said, I've got more confidence now. I've been doing it for longer anyway, so I feel like at least it's not going to be ability that's
mm,
going to put them off. Yeah, and I'm quite happy to dance with beginners myself now. I just think I know what it felt like, and I suppose because I teach classes anyway, I'm used to
yes.
showing.
We've all been beginners. I think it's important. Okay, you don't have to spend the whole night dancing with the beginners, but
Yeah, with
not to
people.
reject people because they are beginners.
I know. I
Because
think
they
that's
will
really
learn.
important. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all learn and we've all been there. No one has not been there.
No, that's right. And I suppose even for experienced leaders, they should be able to adapt for beginners as well. So that shouldn't be an issue.
100%.
Dance for enjoyment, isn't it? And
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the way to do it. Lynne, thank you very much for coming and joining us today and sharing your experiences from Salsa, Bachata, and Kizomba from the perspective of a lady in her 60s. It's difficult to come into the dance space as a beginner, no matter your age. Adding in an older age into it, 50s, 60s, 70s, it can be even more difficult. So, Lynne Joyner, thank you so much for being a voice on the topic of age in the SBK scene.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Empowered Dancers podcast. If there's an aspect of the dance scene you would like to hear about, or a particular teacher you would like to hear from, drop me a message and I will try to make it happen. Make sure you subscribe to get every episode as it comes out. Thank you so much for the comments and questions you are already sharing. I really, really appreciate it, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.